Thursday, November 1, and there are 11 days to local government elections. In the news today, government supplementary, which covers the period January 1 to December 31, was, in the wee hours of this morning, approved in the National Assembly by unanimous vote. Stacey Carmichael has our first report.
The National Assembly was embroiled in a prolonged controversy over procedure guiding approval of the additional sums requested by the Judiciary and the Ethnic Relations Commission, ERC, and was still in session at 2 hours. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu criticized the opposition for dilatory tactics to frustrate the approval of more money for the entities.
Here we have a proposal before the House. We are dealing with a constitutional agency, and it is very clearly stated, and it has been canvassed here by all sides, including the learned member Anil Nanlal, that the Constitution states very clearly in Article 222 that constitutional agencies come to the House by the procedures variously, and we are divided on that, how it comes before the House, for a lump sum.
Minister of Finance Winston Jordan clarified that supplementary budgets have different rules, and when it comes to constitutional agencies, the procedures assure the independence of these agencies.
My point to end this all, sir, is that the government has chosen to give the Supreme Court a sum, or any constitutional agency that matter, in this case the Supreme Court, that's a supplementary, a sum of money for which we can afford within the space that we have. And that is the end of the matter. I don't know, but that is put to us, and you rightly went down the path, which is, let us vote yea or nay. And then the story is finished.
The Supreme Court will get over $165 million and the Ethnic Relations Commission $29 million to meet additional employment costs and other charges for the period October to December 2018. Speaker Dr. Barton Scotland said a subcommittee meeting will be hosted before the next National Assembly sitting with the intent of meeting an agreement of how to deal with constitutional agencies and the budget. The next sitting of the National Assembly will be Friday, November 16. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Stacey is back to tell us that the Ministry of Business now has access to $193 million in supplementary funding to facilitate payments under the Lethem and Belvedere Industrial Development projects.
Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin defending the request assured that the total amount will be spent before the year's end. The supplementary amount, Minister Gaskin noted, is based on the significant advancement of infrastructural works and the need for an additional access road to the business incubator at Lethem.
In all of the works that have to be done, the infrastructure works at the Belvedere incubator have been completed. The consultancy for the Belvedere incubator, that will be completed by the end of this year. The infrastructure works at the Lethem incubator will still have some outstanding work to do next year, which does not take it beyond its original deadline. The infrastructure works at the Lethem estates, both Lot 1 and Lot 2, have been completed. The only thing that has not been completed is the extension to the scope of those works to include the new roads, and those will be completed by May of next year.
The Lethem estate consists of 4 plots for large businesses to operate and support smaller entities that will occupy the facilities. Upon completion, the Guyana Office for Investment, Go Invest, will promote the estate to local, Brazilian and foreign investors. Minister Gaskin had explained the incubators are aimed at assisting persons to reach the point of being established enough to venture out on their own. They will be furnished with the necessary equipment required by businesses. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Revenues from oil and gas can be the catalyst for growth in the tourism industry, says Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin. Anira Khan has the details.
Minister Gaskin said the oil discoveries have put Guyana on the map. He feels that the revenues from the new industry could help the tourism sector reach its full potential.
More and more people know where Guyana is. People are coming to Guyana.
And they're coming to Guyana because they see Guyana as a land of opportunity. So that has a currency that can be exploited for tourism purposes.
The minister was speaking at the opening of a one-day forum on oil and gas and tourism hosted by the Guyana Tourism Authority. Director General of the GTA, Donald Sinclair, said the forum seeks to have a structured reflection on the impact of oil and gas on tourism.
What today's forum attempts to do is to understand and explore some of the options available to a growing and developing sector in Guyana, the tourism sector.
The forum is the first in a series of activities planned by the GTA in observance of Tourism Month, which is being observed under the theme Promoting Sustainability and Celebrating Diversity. For InfoHub, Anarakan.
Dexroy Pollard, one of the 3 prisoners who escaped from the Lusignan holding bay on the east coast of Demerara on October 15, is in custody. The 29-year-old Wales resident was recaptured by a public-spirited citizen at Free and Easy on the west bank of Demerara today. Pollard was amongst the 3 inmates who escaped the Lusignan holding bay by scaling the wall. Murder accused Travis Evans, age 23, of Seafield Sophia, was the first to be recaptured. He was apprehended at the Linden-Swissdyke Junction on October 19. Sudesh Dayal, 23, who is on remand for break-and-enter and larceny and escape from lawful custody, Kubina Stevens, also known as OJ, and Paul Goraya, are still on the run. The Guyana Police Force wishes to publicly commend the individual who assisted in the recapturing of Pollard for his brave and courageous action, which the force notes is testimony that they are gaining the public's trust and is urging others to assist in the apprehension of those still at large. Still to come, Mabaruma hosts first regional agriculture commercial exhibition and more hinterland students equipped for school. Stay with us.
The reason why I would encourage people to come out and vote for the local government, because your voice have to be heard. And for your voice to be heard, you have to come out and vote and let the people know exactly what is going on in your community. You are the most important person in your community. And without you, the head of government and other people who are responsible for the communities would not know what is going on in the community. So we need to come out and vote to show that you have interest in your community and you would like to see your community move forward, and also to explain what you need to be done in your community.
Welcome back. Mabaruma in the Barima-Wani region hosted its first regional agriculture commercial exhibition where the residents were urged to get back into large-scale farming. Senika Thorne has the details.
The exhibition was held under the theme Fostering a Green Economy through Agriculture and Cohesive Villages. At the event's opening at the Mabaruma Settlement Ground, Minister Ali Koch noted that race is key to spurring agriculture across Guyana.
It is the launching pad for many more to come, as alluded to by the chairman and his worship. From this very first time, we will seek to only improve these expos and have them continue to grow in a way where you, the local businesses, can benefit, open up new jobs, seek new markets, use the imagination that you have.
Mayor Henry Smith underscored the importance of value-added products. He called on the residents to become more involved in agro-processing.
We need to plant, and most of all, we need to do agro-processing, because this town, this region, to get development, we are into tourism and that sort of thing, and we need to attract foreign investors. It's only by attracting foreign investors we'll get them to come in and do something for us, maybe invest in farming certain crops, processing and what have you. And also, the youths will be able to find jobs.
A number of individuals and agencies, including the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Hosororo Primary School, showcased their products and services. Senika Thorne, InfoHub.
Still on news coming out of Mabaruma, over 50 bicycles and a boat were handed over to students residing in the far-flung and riverine communities within the sub-district on Wednesday. Here again is Senika.
The bicycles and boats were presented to the students by Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alicock and the Director of Sport Christopher Jones during an outreach to the Region 1 community on Thursday. This brings it a total of 1,405 bicycles and 10 boats handed over to students across the country under President David Granger's 5B program. Minister Alcock explained that the 5B initiative was in response to the needs identified by the Birima-Waini people and Guyana as a whole.
It is our aim to assist our students in accessing education, because education is the key to success in everything we do. This appropriate education will allow our children to become visionary leaders and entrepreneurs and enable them to use the rich resources that are available right at our fingertips in a progressive and productive way. Hence, we are here today to commission a boat and distribute, well, we have seen the distribution of these bicycles.
Director of Sport Christopher Jones noted the program has positively impacted the lives of thousands of children across the country.
You have children who walk for 1 or 2 hours to get to school. And when they reach the school, they are tired. His Excellency, his President said that in order to bring about that good life for all Guyanese, every child must have the equal opportunity as those on the coastline.
On October 9, Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali commissioned a David G school bus in East Kanji, Berbice, bringing a total of 29 buses commissioned across the country thus far. Sunika Thorne, InfoHub.
The Georgetown School of Nursing today hosted a graduation ceremony for a new batch of nurses. Delicia Haynes was at the National Cultural Center for the event and filed this report.
251 students from the Georgetown School of Nursing today graduated in various fields, namely professional nursing, where 110 students graduated, midwifery 56, and 85 students from the nursing assistant training. Among those was top student from the RN program who copped several special awards. Valedictorian of the 2018 batch of professional registered nurses was Leola Charles, who was the recipient of the PAHO WHO Award and the Minister of Public Health Award for her outstanding performance throughout the 3-year program.
Let us leave a trail others will be proud to follow. Class of 2018. As graduates, we face many uncertainties in both the immediate and distant future. However, it's up to us to make a difference, to have people say honorable things about us and leave the impression that you never gave up on yourself.
Minister of Public Health Waldo Lawrence expressed confidence in the graduating batch's preparedness to be deployed into the public health system.
It was John C. Mather who posited that, and I quote, "There's strength in numbers," end of quote. And I wish to take this opportunity to endorse his statement by affirming that on seeing this large sea of enthusiastic faces, I, Waldo Ann Lawrence, Minister of Public Health, am convinced that the strengthening of Guyana's healthcare system and the realization of the health goals outlined in our Health Vision 2020 are in competent hands.
The biennial graduation ceremony saw several persons from this year's graduating batch receiving special awards in the areas of interpersonal skills, management and leadership qualities, and outstanding performances in theoretical studies and clinical practices. Among those graduating was Batch 125A, who were a part of approximately 200 students who resat the state final examinations and attained 100% passes. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
We remind you that the application period for proxy voting ends tomorrow, November 2, so check with your local polling agents to uplift your forms. Also, tomorrow, members of the Discipline Services will be heading to various polling stations to cast their ballots for local government elections. That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, social media, and our website at dpi.gov.gy. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.